I thought it was Latin guitars. Then I realized they were doing a Godfather bit. But then when Beyonce said she was Michael, I was like, you motherfuckers, she told you. She told you she was Michael Clorio.
I didn't catch that.
She said on the beginning of this album, she's Michael, and you're getting upset when she's taking you out individually.
That's a good ass point. I didn't put that together. You know why I couldn't put that together? Because of the insane Italian accent that she's doing. Welcome to Every Album Ever with Mike and Alex. My name is Michael Mansour, and I'm joined as always by my tropical co-host Alexander Volt. Say hello.
Say my name, say my name.
And we will. This is Every Album Ever, the podcast where we listen to every single album in the world, one artist at a time. That's a whole new discography per episode. And today we'll be discussing every album by
Destiny's Child. No joking around. Doing Destiny's Child.
Let's just get this out of the way. If you're here because you like Destiny's Child and you want to see some people talk about Destiny's Child, I recommend you leave. And it's for both of our sakes because, well, we don't do this normally. And we're doing this because this was requested on Patreon by Horacio. Horacio has fucked us over repeatedly in the past, most recently with the Virgins, whom we hate.
Mm-hmm. I will say people think we hate the Spice Girls, and I will stand by that debut album.
That's the other one
of the best 90s pop albums ever.
He also requested the Spice Girls way back in the day, and to be honest, that first album is quite good.
It's quite good.
Yeah.
He will pay for his sins literally by giving us money. He pays for his sins.
He does pay for these sins, and boy are they sins because I didn't want to do this, all right? I didn't want to fucking do this, but we did it, all right? We did it. How do you feel, Alex?
You know, I started off okay. I started off in a good mood. I was making my way through it, and then this kind of broke me a little bit. These are long albums. They are very much a pop group. They are here to make hits. They are not here to make albums, so it broke me a little bit. Probably not as much as it broke you.
I am indeed a broken man. It's funny you say like this is a band that makes hits, not albums. Yet their albums are so long. Why are they so long?
I think they're hedging the bets. Like, we're gonna do this type of song. We're gonna do that type of song. We'll do a few more of these. We have all our bases covered. Then, however, like people are reacting at the time, like TRL, if you're old enough to remember that, it was a music video show for the youngins where people voted every day on their favorite music videos, and it was just pretty much the same 10 music videos every day until they had to retire them. I forget what so like TRL radio, whatever is happening there, we have all these songs lined up and we could feed the radio and the machine whatever it needs.
And it certainly feels like that kind of music for a lot of it. And another disclaimer is as open-minded as we are, or as we like to be, as we like to believe that we are, we typically cover on this channel, for those who don't know, extreme metal, punk, noise, weird shit, psychedelic stuff, prog rock. I mean, weirder, more less attractive, definitely less successful monetarily bands. You're way more open to R&B than I am.
Yeah, I wouldn't call myself like a big R&B fan, but I will listen to D'Angelo. I like a handful of Erykah Badu songs. Usually when I talk about this type of music, I try to lean more into like the funk and soul aspect and older artists like Curtis Mayfield, Marvin Gaye, someone like that who is considered R&B, but they're also very musically driven. So I'm a little more open to it. I can't say of like the 90s and 2000s that I'm like too big into it outside of like a handful of albums and songs.
Well, yeah. So even your taste is pretty modest with that. But mine is it's like it's not as bad to me. Shockingly, it's not as bad to me as like a Steely Dan, where I hear it and I'm like, what the fuck is that, man? Why is that considered music? I get why it's considered music and why it's fucking impressive, whatever, they're perfectionists. I just hate the style of song. I hate the writing choices. This is obviously not Steely Dan, but it does tap into a little bit of what I don't like about music, where it becomes so predictable. It becomes so overproduced. I mean, fuck, man, overproduced to the point where
the production is crazier than I remember it being.
There's insanely impressive performances on here, but it's so overproduced that it doesn't even feel real. So it's harder to be impressed by it. Like there's like genuine stuff here where I'm thinking that is extremely technical for a group of singers to pull something like that off. It's fucking crazy, but it doesn't sound real. You could hear that they did a million takes each by themselves. I mean, maybe they recorded them together, whatever, but it doesn't feel like that. Maybe if they did record it all together live, it doesn't feel like it at all. It feels really manufactured and really glossy and really shiny.
It is from your like favorite era of music, so that makes sense.
The early 2000s is just one of the worst aged eras in music.
Yeah, it's also very interesting to me when we'll get into a little bit of the legal drama, how anyone in this group thought it was anything other than the Beyonce show.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Even from the beginning, it's like
her dad was the manager.
Oh, what could go wrong? And I totally forgot about that stuff. Like reading that, I got like flashbacks. Like, oh yeah, I remember this being like big news.
Yeah, there's some drama in there. We'll talk a little bit about like the history. A little bit about the history. We got some notes from our boy Tom Osman. Think you should go support and follow him. He put these notes together in the middle of running. I'm not exaggerating, like 100 miles. He's been running like the past 6 days, 10 to 20 miles per day. The man, you don't fuck with Tom, I guess. I didn't realize he was in that crazy good shape.
What a maniac. I would not. I've done less on vacation and told you we're taking some time off.
Dude, wild. So yeah, go support him. He does a lot. But he pulled some notes here from this piece from Days in 2018 called Early Days of Destiny's Child. It has interviews with Matthew Knowles, which is Beyonce's father, Latavia Roberson, which is a former member on the first two albums, who it's part of some of the drama, and Wyclef Jean, who is back from Fugees. Check out our episode on Fugees. Yeah, and Tom actually notes here right before his note starts. He says Wyclef is back, and there's more impressionable young women under his watchful eye. I'm saying absolutely nothing. Oh,
you know, he invited Praz for one song at least.
Did he? And well, that was nice of him. What's Praz up to these days?
Being Praz, dude, he's the Ringo of the Fugees.
I think you might be right, but
yeah, he gets his money, make sure he's okay, and he doesn't care.
That's my kind of guy. I much prefer that. But
yes,
altogether, they have 5 albums in their fairly decent career. First album came out in 1998, last one 2004, and that's about the time that Beyonce took over the world and started eating babies. I'm gonna edit that out because she's gonna come after me. I'm not gonna edit that out, but she might come after me. I'm kidding.
She might.
Yeah. So from this piece, we have some quotes here. This is from Matthew, Beyonce's father and manager. He says, my college friend and fraternity brother, David Lombard, and I would, Lombard, I'm just saying Lombard, like I'm about to say Lombardo, like David Lombardo. I can't look at David Lombard and not see Dave Lombardo.
I think of that, or despite not being a big football fan, like Lombardi.
He says, David Lombard and I would always laugh and say that one day we would have the biggest girl groups. He went on to put together On Vogue. I personally put together Destiny's Child. The girls were signed 3 times before we recorded this album, which I executively produced. Now, I'm no conspiracy nut or nothing, but it sounds like this dude just decided he was going to have a hit on his hands and just, all right, here, time to have a hit.
I mean, I don't know what the background for this is, but yeah, he sounds like all great father managers, your Joe Jackson, Shia LaBeouf's dad. It's wild. It's wild.
Dudes like this, I don't know what he looks like. I'm just looking at the text that from his quote, and I'm already like, this guy's scary. I bet he's got a lot of power. But this is from Latavia. She says, I got an audition for a talent show called Star Search through my modeling agency. I literally sat in line beside Beyonce and we auditioned on the same day. I made the cut and clearly she did too. We formed a group called Girls Time. I'm being facetious now by saying it was about 12 of us, but there was a lot. We had a hype master, 2 to 3 lead singers, background singers. I was one of the dancers and then I became a rapper. We went through about 15 different names from Girls Time to Cliche. Then I got asked by Matthew Knowles to come to rehearsals one day for another group.
I don't know if I've ever shared this story on this podcast, but I've seen Beyonce live.
Really?
Yes, I was writing for a questionable website. And
I won't ask any questions.
I'll tell you off mic. I think I've told you about it. But anyways, so they send me to this Beyonce tour and I'm like, I'm probably not even going to get in. Not only did I get in, I was like in the first 20 rows.
Dude, that's nuts. That's like $1,000 tickets.
Phenomenal seats.
Dude.
And at the end, it was really like the Gladiator thing. Like, are you not entertained? Like, I was pretty fucking entertained.
It was a good show. It was a good show.
She's great. I don't know how much of it was recorded, if any of it, but her vocals sounded amazing. Like, there were certain things where I'm like, that doesn't sound recorded, but I don't know. Like, they're so good these days.
Yeah.
Phenomenal show. Phenomenal show.
You know what? You got to give her that at least. Yeah, even if scary, puts on a good show, according to Alex.
Great show. If you have the chance to get front row seats for a Beyonce show for free, do it. Do it.
Yeah. If you ever run across that opportunity, by all means. Matthew goes on to say here, he says, I quit my job at the time. I worked for 20 years quite successfully at Xerox. I had to prepare myself as a manager and prepare Beyonce as an artist. I made sure we built a very good team. From entertainment attorney, booking agent, road manager, I wanted to surround her with a really great team. Xerox, huh?
Xerox.
All right.
He's got all the he's an interesting dude. Because you're like, I wonder what he looks like, and he's not like overtly scary. I don't know. Like, he's kind of goofy looking, actually.
It's funny, his wiki doesn't even have a photo of him.
Yeah, he's like a bald-headed man with the mustache, kind of like an overbite, and he wears glasses sometimes.
Oh, I see. He looks like a dork. He looks like a dork, and this guy will fuck you. He looks like a dork, but don't you fuck him because he'll fuck you harder.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I bet you he said some wild things.
I bet he's done some wild things.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't go from Xerox to the top of the music charts without...
That's what kind of connection is that?
He's got
hell
the
of a copier, that Matthew Knowles.
He's got the In Vogue connection.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Latavia says here, I was in the 4th grade and Kelly was in the 5th. I met her and we became friends. I would go to her mother's house a lot and we were playing Barbies and she had this huge Barbie dollhouse in her closet and we were listening to Whitney Houston, who Kelly loved. She was singing I'm Your Baby Tonight. And I was like, I'm in a girl group. I think that you should come try out. Your voice is great. My mother and I took her to rehearsals and did she say 4th grade? Hold on. Did she say 4th grade? My mother and I took her to rehearsals and she tried out and that was great. A year later, Beyonce was going to school with LaToya and they were doing a Pinocchio play and we heard LaToya sing. That's how we became the 4th. They were lifelong friends. There we go. Now I get it.
Yeah.
Miss Tina, Beyonce's mom, the group's costume designer, one day she was looking through the Bible and she just opened it up and our picture fell out. She saw the word Destiny and it just spoke to her. So we were called Destiny for a while. Once we got signed with Sony Music, they added Child because it was like the rebirth of Destiny. Ooh, so dramatic.
I wonder if anyone was like, shouldn't it be children? And maybe they were like, that's creepy. That's weird.
Destiny's Children is absolutely creepy. Children of the Corn ballpark. You know, Destiny's Child is actually not a bad name. I don't think it's a bad like name of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's basically how they got together. I guess they were. I'm still. Were they really? How old? I mean, were they really children?
They were grinding it out for a while. Like Beyonce's only 42 at time of recording this.
She's 42?
So yeah,
she was fucking 60. Holy crap, they were children.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, that checks out.
So the audition that Beyonce and Latavia auditioned for was in 1990.
Holy shit, yeah.
Holy shit. I wasn't even born yet.
I was 4.
Yeah. That's fucking nuts. Well, yeah, they've been around a while. But now, yeah, it's kind of the backstory there, and we might as well jump into the albums and talk about the music if you're ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
Oh, boy, here we go. This came out in 1998. This is self-titled.
I was like, do I have the right album on?
Yep, not the same. So this is about exactly what I was expecting. Smooth, sensual fuck music.
I was not expecting smooth, sensual fuck music because I'm familiar with their hits. This is a less not talked about.
It's what?
Not talked about as much as the other albums. Although to my delight, though, I found out Dwayne Wiggins of Tony handled a lot of production on this album.
Yeah, okay.
It's also very disappointing his name's not actually Tony.
What is it, like Chuck?
No, it's Dwayne Wiggins.
Oh.
Great name, but it's not Tony.
Yeah. So this actually isn't that bad.
This is a
I lowered it right when the bass got good. My bad, but go on, sorry.
Yeah, this is like a by the numbers 90s R&B album that turned out about one hit for them, and yeah, it's okay. It's fine. It's just long. It's long, and I think it's not good. And shocker that I don't like it. So the opener's like, all right, it's not bad. It's weirdly emotional for an opener, honestly, but it's got some good bass lines. It's sensual. It's actually kind of nice. Drags on for 2 fucking whole minutes. Too long. I mean, that's a good while to drag on. It is, especially on an album that's just full of songs. Very, very perplexing to open up with No Part 2. I was like, where's Part 1? Yeah, that's an odd one. Yeah. I thought this was Part 1 because I forgot they did this song. I thought it was a different group. Oh. Also, listening throughout this discography, I couldn't help but think about like the volume wars. Like if No was recorded today, that song would be so loud. And it's so minimal in comparison to today's pop music. Interesting. I never thought about that. I thought about it a lot because you kind of hear them not go the full evolution, but you do hear the production like ramping up each album. That is true. Each album gets way glossier as it goes on until it's unbearably produced. This is actually probably the best sounding album. It's like it's one of the more even ones. It's one of the ones that feels like a band kind of. Yes. So yeah, like you said, we got No Part 2. It's track 2. It's with Wyclef Jean on there. It's, yes, sir.
more upbeat. It's got sassy. I really do hate that drum machine cymbal sound, but it's not bad.
Yeah, I don't know if Wycliffe does the guitar solo on there, but we do got a guitar solo on there.
There's a sappy ass acoustic guitar breakdown around 2 minutes that I absolutely fucking hate. Is that the part you're talking about? That's not the solo. Probably. No, is it? I really I don't like it, but
I'll take it.
All right.
Yeah.
But then we get With Me Part 1, and I would call that straight up garbage.
Yeah, it's weird because it feels more rap driven than R&B, and there's some electronic stuff going on. And then later on, when we get Part 2, which is funnier.
Dude. Yeah, it's funnier.
Master P's on there, this grunting and moaning his way through it, doing Master P things.
Let's talk about these, the ones in pairs whenever we get to them. So
okay, yeah.
So With Me Part 1, every instrumental choice on there, I absolutely hate. I hate all the sonic choices of the instruments. And then I've never given a tiniest bit of shit about R&B vocals, whether female or male. Just the style of a million notes. I get that it's impressive and that they're extremely talented. It does nothing to my monkey brain that likes technicality. I love technicality. Mm-hmm. This style does nothing for me. I do like the breakdown around 2 minutes in for Part 1. Part 2. So what is your history with Master P?
Very, just like a safe distance away. Like if he pops up, I think it's a fun time. I've never done a deep dive into No Limit or Master P, but dude cranked out a lot of hits back in the day. So
my question is, does he always sound like that?
Yes.
Okay, because this is my first time hearing Master P. I am baffled because it is just a Tupac impression.
I noticed that. I never put 2 and 2 together.
Pac together.
Yeah. He is kind of like a more sultry, lazy Tupac.
He's a lazy Tupac. And I swear, dude, I thought for the whole listen that it was someone.
You're like, oh shit, they got Pac back.
I thought someone was impersonating Tupac. I thought Master P was just almost like a fucking gag.
Yeah.
I think it's awful.
I don't know. There's he has a southern charm to him, and I think that's just something I kind of appreciated as I got older. Was like, I don't know. There's just something about southern hip hop where I'm like, I didn't appreciate it when I was in high school or in my 20s, but now I do. So
interesting. I'm amazed that that's just his thing, is to sound like Tupac without being Tupac. I mean, it's uncanny. The exact same exaggerations of the final syllable. I mean, exactly.
Yeah, but a little slower, and his most famous thing is make him say na 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 na. So the moaning and grunting on Part 2, that's what he does.
That's just what he does. Fair enough. Yeah. I don't like it, but that's what he does. I already, seconds in to tell me, I wanted to vomit.
Yeah, it sounds like it's baby making music, but it's sad about getting cheated on. And then I always thought Maya Rudolph's Beyonce impression was funny. It was serviceable, but then there's some vocals around 113 where she's like, "A reason for this, Maya." Sorry, that was more yarling.
Yeah,
but I heard the Maya Rudolph there, and I was like, okay, I get it. I haven't Maya Rudolph does the good Beyonce voice.
Interesting.
When I heard that.
So we wouldn't be complete. Any album that we don't like wouldn't be complete without some ridiculous saxes.
Oh,
and we got them on Bridges, baby.
I'll take Bridges. You'll take
Bridges? It is on the funkier side, so I'm not surprised.
It's funkier. The horn's a little jazzy. It does sound closer to that D'Angelo, Erykah Badu production that I like. So
wait, what? Because I'm a noob. What years are those?
those are also like around the same time, but it was more artistically driven than like this. They do R&B music, but they're part of like a machine, like a pop music machine. So yeah, Erykah Badu and all that is like late 90s, early 2000s. That's like their prime.
Gotcha.
So it's like the same time. It's just a different side of the coin, I would say.
Nice. So around this point in the album is when I started noticing that more this album, it's prominent on a lot of the albums, on a lot of the songs or whatever. But here it was like really hard to ignore. Every song follows the exact same pop structure, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, end. And it's like, it becomes painful actually at a certain point, because I mean, I get pop music is supposed to be predictable. I get why they use that structure because it's, I don't know, it works or something. But when you're not hiding it at all, when it's just so obviously, all right, it's going to go to this part and it's going to that part and it's going to this part and then it's going to be over. It's just, it hurts to listen to it.
I get where you're coming from, especially when an album runs this long and it goes back to like they're covering their bases. It's not about like having a no skip album. It's just like, let's just get a lot of material here. If something doesn't work, we could turn something else out. Yeah.
And it's funny because the same point I was thinking like, I don't like this, but I bet there's going to be a bridge that's going to be not that bad. And sure enough, a bridge would come on and it wouldn't be that bad. It's like, I could even call like where the song would go logically, like musically is, I really hate that. I don't like being able to call it, because at that point, why don't I just fucking think about it and I'll have the same experience? Why am I listening to it? But then we got No Part 1, which brought me back on board. Some more fuck vibes, over the top fuck vibes, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, I like Part 2 better. It's just, I don't know, just commit to one version. I don't need very rarely, unless you're doing like classical music or prog music. Maybe if you are like Erykah Badu or The Roots, I'll take a part 2, but not here.
And we get more part 2s later on, folks. They're not done with splitting songs into multiple parts. And I'd say on here, they're very much like, what's an example? What's an example of one that's not going to be too alienating? I mean, if people are watching this, they're fans of us already. Sam Hain. All right, let's talk about Sam Hain. For example, on Final Descent, they on the reissue of Final Descent, where it has like early Danzig demos essentially. They have a song called Lords of the Left Hand, and they have version 1 and they have version 2. Version 1 is straight up metal. It's headbanging. It's slower. And then version 2 is like fast punk. But it's the same songs, the same lyrics, same riffs. That's kind of like the style here. Obviously not metal, but here it's like, it's the same song, but
just
fun.
A little different.
Later on, the multiple parts become different songs with the same lyrics, like different songs. Here it's like, why are you doing this?
A slight highlight for me, I would say, is Illusion. And I think that's just because they use the same sample as the Ghetto Boys' Mind's Playing Tricks on Me.
Oh.
And then we get the Praz appearance. I guess they were beefing or couldn't afford Lauryn Hill for a full Fugees.
Bet not. Or Lauryn Hill just didn't show up, which is probably more likely.
I'm amazed. She puts on concerts still.
I can't believe it. I don't believe it, actually. Illusion, I'm okay with Illusion. It's a lot more poppy. I found it to be like one of the more pleasant songs in the album. It's probably one of my favorite songs in the album. Is that Praz rapping at around 2 minutes in?
Yes, sir.
Man, I don't remember hating his voice that much.
Maybe you're just having a bad time with the production here. I
could have just been having a bad time because it sounds like he's just talking. It doesn't really feel like snappy. I mean, it might just be the way his voice is actually produced.
It could be that, or he's just like, hey, White Cliff invited me to hang out with these impressionable young women. You're not gonna get a 10 out of 10 verse here.
He was distracted. Like Show Me the Way is fine. I'm okay with that one as well. But
I felt like Show Me the Way was like the most generic R&B song on this entire thing.
Really? Because boy, I have such problems with basically every remaining song. Like you name it, and I fucking don't like it. I wrote down many reasons why.
I mean, yeah, it should have ended around Illusion.
100%. At least.
Yeah.
At least. These are not short albums. How long is this one actually? That. Yeah, this one's 56 minutes, which, we've covered albums longer than 56 minutes, but typically we like them to do different things than like the 2 song types over the entire thing. And that's the problem with these albums being so long is, like you said, they're throwing shit at the wall and hoping for one that hits. So they're not going to be that different from each other. There's only like one album exception that I would give, where it's like, oh, it's kind of different. Here, same fucking songs all the way through, basically.
Yeah, it's I guess there's, fans of this music, and so it's for those people.
It's for those people. There's 100% people that love Sail On when I fucking hate it. And also, quick mention, My Time Has Come is dedicated to Andretta Tillman, and
every album.
Is it every album? I thought it was only 3.
Most of them.
Yeah. Most albums, there is going to be one track dedicated to Andretta Tillman. And I don't know who that is. And I'm going to look it up right now.
I looked it up, and it was like their manager or someone.
Okay. So it was just someone within the close vicinity. It's not like a known person in a world that I'm just unfamiliar with.
Yes. Cause I was like, is she like a civil rights activist or something?
First thing I thought.
Yeah, there's like a whole book written about her.
Oh, okay. Well, the song is terrible.
The making of A Child of Destiny, the Andretta Tillman story on paperback.
Well, other people care. There's a lot of people who care about this person.
Yeah.
I don't like this song at all. There are other songs dedicated to her that I think are much, much better. This is not one of them. Yeah, I mean, like you said, the people who like this, I'm sure there's like plenty to like on here. I hear a lot of this and think, I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. I'm having a bad time for sure. But Jesus Christ, man, it's the most predictable album with really awful moments peppered in with a couple of okay tracks. That's what it is for me.
Yeah, that's a fair assumption. I didn't feel like I was like in the shit yet. Maybe because I like mentally prepared myself for what was coming, but yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is. So this is from Wyclef about his introduction into the band. He says, I was approached by Sony Music / Columbia Records. They were like, there's these 4 girls. You got to go check them out. I went to see them in the hotel because before I can do a song, I have to hear the artist raw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can hear them.
Yeah.
Raw.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
It's the same way ODB liked it raw. Like no piano, no nothing, just a cappella. The best I could describe it was raw talent. He likes that word, doesn't he? I said to them, I'm from the church. Sing a church song for me. And they started singing. Beyonce, of course, was on lead. I just fell in love with the group. I bet you did, bud.
I bet you fell in love before you even heard them singing.
He says, because they were from Texas, I had this idea to rewrite it. No, part 1. But have them sing it double time. At the time, there wasn't a lot of girl groups doing that. To actually take a rap flow pattern and put it in an R&B scheme. Today, it's more common. I just saw them being the biggest thing on earth. Not only did I know it, it's documented in the remix. Like if you listen to the rap, I say they went from a dream to the Young Supremes.
You know, that's easy to say when someone's made it.
That's what they all say when they made it.
Yeah.
Dude, one of my biggest pet peeves is they pull a fucking old quote from Prince or someone, and it's like him saying, like, I'm going to make it. And they're like, he knew. Go fuck yourself. We've read about this in the past. That's how passionate I am. I'm doing it again.
Yeah. It's Dewey Cox's story.
Exactly. Except they probably all have the sense of smell.
I will say, he is right about the rapping part, and that would kind of be part of their DNA, I would say.
Yeah, it's not in every song, but when it shows up, it's always pretty impressive. Latavia here says, one day we were going to pick up Solange from school. She was in middle school at the time. Then we heard No, No, No on the radio. Solange ran out screaming, "Oh my God, my sisters are on the radio." People think that once No, No, No came out, we were an overnight success, but we actually weren't. We'd been seeking a record deal for 8 years. It was a long journey. It really, really was. It was so great for us seeing the hard work pay off. It was elating. It was wonderful. What I originally said about Matthew just deciding to have a hit. Clearly, they were working for a long time, and they were kids, and they've been grinding it out, doing whatever. It just seems like I can't prove it, dude. It just seems like he had some shit going on.
Yeah, I don't know. It was wild. And like you see it in South Korea now. Like it doesn't really exist over here anymore. Like the way they would assemble like the Backstreet Boys or NSYNC or even the Spice Girls. But yeah, it was just a different time, and I think that's why like K-pop is so successful, because they don't have labor laws the way the US does.
I hear it's a nightmare being a K-pop star.
Oh, dude, it's crazy, but there's something about that oppressive formula of like, I don't know, where they know what people like and they know what the masses like, and sure, you don't hear about the failures, but a BTS, a Destiny's Child, an NSYNC, when they hit big.
They hit real big. The last thing here from Wyclef, he says, everyone just felt the formula that I came with. I guess they thought that could be the blueprint moving forward. After that, they had the formula. Once Uncle Clef gives you the formula, he keeps it moving. That's what all the kids call me, Uncle Clef.
Nobody calls you Uncle Clef. Nobody.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
I've never heard one person refer to Wyclef Jean as Uncle Clef. Not one person.
Oh no, he's trying to steal some fucking valor from Two Life Crew, dude.
Dude,
Uncle Luke.
No, Uncle Luke's the only one.
He's the only uncle in my heart. But time to move on.
Yes.
Are you ready, Alex?
I'm ready.
Hell yeah! So this came out in 1999. This is The Writing's on the Wall. Forgot this takes a lifetime to start.
Yeah, you should just go to So Good.
I'm gonna go ahead and go to So Good. I mean, man, this intro is so dramatic and hilarious. I'm gonna skip it. I'm gonna skip it.
Okay.
And I want to talk about it
I want to talk about it too.
Oh, it's insane. But here's So Good.
They love acoustic guitars.
Sure
This is actually a crazy sample, if I must say.
It's an incredible sample.
Like, did someone play that and they just, man.
It sounds sped up.
That might be it.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm doing mighty fine. Last time I
God,
sang, it's been a long time.
those bubble popping noises are just like, man.
Dude, I didn't even acknowledge them. Now I can't fucking unhear them.
They're like, I don't know. It's pop music.
Yep, it's literally. So this is much faster, much more peppy.
Yes. There you got the Uncle Clef formula.
Hey, now that you got the Uncle Clef formula. Good bass choices. It's like kind of comes and goes.
It's also so interesting to hear like they're actually using a DJ. Like,
oh yeah. All right. So we skipped the title track intro because it's a lengthy buildup, and it's like a what would you call that, Alex?
Okay. So I thought it was Latin guitars. Then I realized they were doing a Godfather bit.
Yeah.
And I thought it was this hilarious.
I had the exact same feeling the whole way through as you so far.
But then when Beyonce said she was Michael, I was like, you motherfuckers, she told you. She told you she was Michael Clorio.
I didn't catch that.
She said on the beginning of this album, she's Michael, and you're getting upset when she's taking you out individually. She
Dude.
told you on record in front of your fucking faces what she was gonna do, and you acted surprised.
That's a good ass point. I didn't put that together. You know why I couldn't put that together?
Because you're just laughing.
Because of the insane Italian accent that she's doing.
Oh, dude.
What the fuck?
I had to pause it. I was like, oh my God, this may actually be like, depending on where you stand, this is a like a gangster move right here.
Dude, she's a killer. Possibly literally.
Yeah. Like, holy shit. And then, I don't know if we want to talk about the lawsuit before or after the music, but.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about before because, if I'm not mistaken, Latavia was kicked out like when the album came out or like a little bit before.
So my understanding was they were kicked out, and I remember this, is they didn't want to leave the group. They wanted a different manager, which seems fair unless you're a psychopath. So, because they felt like Beyonce's dad was screwing them over on royalties, and I'm sure he was.
I'm sure he was.
There's no way. So they never wanted to leave, and then they had on TRL they debuted "Say My Name," and there were different girls in the music video, and that's when they found out.
Yeah, that's fucking brutal. That is,
dude. She told them. She told them.
She did tell them. But what are you gonna? Honestly, even if you were warned that, if Michael Corleone warns you, what are you gonna do about it? You ain't gonna do shit, and they couldn't do shit. And
you can't take the cannoli and leave. It's already gone.
It's already gone. All right, it's gone.
It's already gone.
So the quote from Latavia here is, she says, "My issue is always with the management and never with the girls ever. There was a letter that Latoya and myself sent out. We were supposed to have a meeting already." That's what did it. She says, "There was just some things that I started to notice and I asked questions about. I can't go into specifics. We just needed a business manager to come in and be with Mr. Knowles. We never tried to fire him as the group's manager like the media said. We couldn't do that." Yeah, you not only could you not do that, to even suggest someone else coming in and working with him you're done. You're done.
Ooh, I mean, in a normal group where you're all on equal footing, that seems like a very reasonable request. Don't have issues with you guys. We just want different management.
Except when the manager is the father of the golden child of destiny.
Yes, and that's the other thing is like every lead is Beyonce. The rest of the girls are all backup vocals until a later album.
Yeah, pretty much. But if we're going to talk a little bit about the album, the actual music, this one is even longer, in case
Also,
you were wondering.
Sorry, I was so excited to like point out the Godfather connections. Best personal favorite.
Really?
I almost gave it to something else, but then when I was going through my notes, I was like, this has a lot of fucking misses, but like,
yes, yes
man,
it does.
I don't know. It's just like, for better or worse, this like part of growing up. Like,
holy crap. So I don't like this album. I don't like any album. And the album that I think is best, I also don't like that album. But I don't think this is worse than the one before it. I think it's longer, but it does more things, to be fair.
You know, it'd be a fun game to play. Do you know what the singles are off this album?
The only song I know is "Say My Name."
Okay. So because if you had to guess like 3 other singles off here, what would you think?
If I had to
think this would be fun.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 more.
I'm going to guess. I'm going to go with Bills. You said 3,
Correct.
right?
Yep. So you're 1 for One
I'll go-
for one.
That's one of them?
Yep.
Oh shit. Nice.
Yeah.
I'll go with jumping.
2 for 2.
No fucking way. All right. I swear to God, I'm not cheating.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go with
one more. Let's go one more.
Hey Ladies.
Good
Damn.
guess. But so you had some wiggle room there. You could have gone for Bugaboo. Oh yeah, Bugaboo. That would
Bugaboo.
be yeah.
Damn. I like Bugaboo. But it's funny. The other ones, I don't like the other ones at all. It just seemed like that would be.
All those songs were everywhere. Like
Really?
everywhere. Like, man, if I stayed home sick, it was like watch like old SNL episodes or like MTV. So MTV won out a lot, and it was just, you know, or I'd say I hate TRL, but like I wanted to see like Korn take the number 1 spot, and they never did. So
hell yeah, brother. That's how you gotta do, brother.
So yeah, these songs are this fucking like everywhere. So the album, that's another reason I'm giving it best. The album totally succeeded at what they wanted it to do, despite the songs that aren't singles are rough.
Dude, I mean, I don't like those songs. I mean, I like Bugaboo, but there are some rough ones, dude. I mean, like the thing that makes these albums so fucking hard to listen to, it's not that it's just bad songs in there. It's a streak of bad songs. And for me, the streak starts at Now That She's Gone and ends at Jumpin'. That's 5 in a row that I fucking cannot stand.
Yep. Also, a lot of these songs are very similar in subject matter, which I probably like songs or albums where all the song Andrew WK, every song's about
There's
partying.
plenty of albums where all the songs sound the same and we like it. Slayer, every album sounds the same.
Yeah. This is your man's been doing you wrong and you ain't gonna take that shit anymore album.
Yeah.
And that is 90% of the songs, which is fine.
I'm going to go ahead and say 90% of their career. A lot of it is I Don't Need No Man, and it gets worse later, but it's still
it
here.
gets confusing later, actually. Well,
all right, we'll talk. We'll dig into that. But I'm okay with some fuck time on Temptation.
It doesn't do it for me. Also, I just found Beyonce's first verse unintentionally funny there.
Well, it's the exact same cadence as fucking Knick Knack Paddywhack. That's what did it. This old man. Yeah. It's the exact same cadence. So there's a few things that these ladies do that are really bad. One, sometimes it's the cadence like that. Like that's weird. It's really goofy. Later on, I'm talking straight plagiarism. I mean, straight up bald face, whatever the term is, full on. What are you going to do about it? I'm taking your melody and we're just going to use it and not credit you. Full on.
They maybe cleared it. I didn't look at the album credits.
Oh, I did, baby.
Oh,
I did.
Okay.
But so that's like the first time I noticed something like that's all right. It's kind of hokey. It's not. I don't think it's a bad song. It could be worse. I'm fine with the song, but it is pretty hokey. And then Say My Name. Sure, it's like ridiculously famous. I'm not a super big fan of it, but I'll give it up for what it is. I also have a fondness for that song for a completely different reason, completely unrelated reason.
Yeah.
I had an old coworker. I used to work at a Whole Foods in like the rich part of LA. And one of the guys who worked with me was this like up and coming. And by up and coming, I mean like he loved R&B. He dedicated his life to making R&B, and he was a fucking tall white dude. And this guy was about it. This guy, maybe I told the story like years ago. I don't remember telling the story, but
I've never heard it. So. Okay.
This dude's name was Austin, and I loved this guy. Yeah. Everyone did not love this guy because what he would do is he would sing all the time. And he would sing like an R&B singer. He would do that while making eye contact with you.
Dude wanted to be Robin Thicke.
The man lived it. Like he was unapologetic about it. He was so confident. And there was something like really like off-putting and kind of uncomfortable. I mean, when a dude's singing into your eyes, it's really weird, but he was so about it that I eventually went from being like cringed out by this. Yeah. I went from being cringed out to being annoyed to being like, good for him, to being like, I fucking like this guy. And one of the songs he would sing constantly was Say My Name. And he would be singing it while fucking ringing up groceries. He'd be singing it while stocking. He'd be singing it to customers. And full eye contact the whole way. This guy, not only did he sing Say My Name all the time, he would do this thing that it was my favorite thing, maybe out of the entire job. It was my favorite thing. He would make songs on the spot about what people were doing. Dude. We had to like go through like and take note of like the produce every day just to make sure we knew what was going on. And he's like, Jamie's doing the produce walk. And he's like walking by her singing about her, like not even to her. He's walking by singing about what she's doing. It's fucking, that guy rules.
That's my favorite part of the episode. Like nothing's oh man, that's what a great guy.
That guy rules, yeah.
That guy rules. I think Jumpin' is my favorite Destiny's Child song.
Really?
It's just like in my head, it's such a banger, but listening again, that volume war thing, listening to it now, it's so minimal compared to pop music. But Say My Name has got to be their biggest, most iconic song. I will say though, I oughta, after reading about the controversy, went to watch the music video. Music videos is a poor man's Jamiroquai's Virtual Insanity.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Have you seen Virtual Insanity?
Yeah, with the moving room stuff, right?
Yeah. So it's like they saw that and they're like, we're just going to move the furniture. We're not going to do the dancing part. And I'm like, the dancing part is what fucking makes it.
That's what makes it. Yeah, it also reminds me, not the moving furniture part, but the moving person part of fucking Beachland Ballroom from Idols. The way that's edited together and the way he's like kind of like it looks like he's on wires and like he's getting pulled around.
Surprisingly, I've not seen the video, but I'm gonna watch it after this.
There are two versions. The first version is just an up close of Joe's face and mouth, and then the second version is the one with the full band, which is much better. Okay, but. Yeah, Say My Name, I'll give it up for that one. And there's a couple of things that I'm okay with here, like Sweet 16.
I like on Sweet 16 when they just go, girl, for no reason. That's my favorite part. It made me laugh. They just go, girl, for no reason.
That was the era of girl, dude. Girl with like 12 R's.
Girl power, yes.
Indeed. On that, we have some very obvious Ovation guitars. It's the same acoustic guitar that Jerry Cantrell used on Jar of Flies, which I fucking hate that sound. I like Jar of Flies, but I hate that goddamn sound. It's just a very specific choice. It's just a type of acoustic guitar. But the bass lines on that song I think are genuinely good. That I actually quite like them. But and
it is also funny how songs titled Sweet 16 are usually about having sex with children, but this one is like, you stay away from that, man.
That's good because we get one from Kiss called Going Blind, which is it's not about going blind. It's about banging a 16-year-old for some reason.
Yeah. Jerry Lee Lewis, Ted Nugent, Steven Tyler,
Elvis.
R. Kelly. We'll be here all day.
All goddamn day. P. Diddy.
P. Diddy. Man, that Aaliyah song, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, looked real suspicious.
Jesus Christ, man. So the thing that they do a lot, we talked a little bit about on the intro, but they do a lot of Latin stuff from time to time, or like when they do it on a song, it's pretty prominent. She Can't Love You is a pretty good example of that.
I think that's one of the better songs that isn't a single.
Interesting. Really? Why?
It's just, I don't know. I think because it's a little different. Like these are like girl power anthem or like club bangers, and this is a more like sexy song, so it's different. Then also right after is Stay, which is all cheese, so She Can't Love You just feels good. Like
fair enough.
Maybe could have been a single.
I'm not a big fan of She Can't Love You, but I will give you that in that it does dwarf Stay, because it's a full-on ballad. I mean, it is smooth, overproduced, boring. I'm not too hating on the chorus, but it's first of all, it's 5 minutes, and when they have a good number of 5-minute songs, and believe me when I say they don't do anything with the length except play the same fucking sections over and over and over again. And that one beat me down pretty hard.
You know what else I noticed on here that I like didn't remember? Dude, fast hi-hat production. It is like all over these songs. Just like it'll be like a normal song and they're like more hi-hats. It's just crazy amount. Not like literal hi-hats, but like samples and drum machines. And
that's funny when you think about like you think about era trends in music, and it's obviously it's more prominent in pop music, but stuff that you see like explode during like 1 to 3 year period, and then it's gone because they realize it sucked or something. Like that's probably a good example of that. It is,
and lots of things of the time in these albums.
Definitely.
Also, I didn't bring it up. I don't like the 10 Commandment shit. I think if you're going to lean into the 10 Commandment shit, have 10 songs and put it in the intro, but you did a Godfather intro. So it should have been like mafia themed.
Oh, wait. Okay, because I'm getting lost in the 10 Commandment thing. The writing on the wall.
Or after, they'll be like, thou shalt pay my bills or something.
It's basically I forgot.
They don't actually say that. But
at the ends of the songs, they say they go into 10 Commandment thing at like the end of each song. Or it's not every song, but I completely forgot about that. I didn't even note that because it's on every song. I just figured it was just part of the whole concept. But
and then one of my last gripes before we move on, or whatever we're doing here, I'm upset that they told me Missy Elliott was on a song and she doesn't even rap. She's just in the background.
Which one is? Oh, it's on Confessions?
Confessions.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering where the hell she was.
Yeah, she's just like in the background, kind of like repeating what they say. And I'm like, no, I want a full Missy verse.
Whack, dude. Also, I do hate the song. I think it's one of the blandest main hooks ever.
I liked the Sonic the Hedgehog sounding electronics on that song.
Okay, all right.
But that's about it. They
will do stuff from time to time where I'm like, that's a fun sound, but I mean,
don't really do much with it.
Yeah, or a lot of times they'll do this really cool vocal thing, like really interesting harmonies, really cool stuff, but just fuck, man, it's just in the most gray fucking pear of a song. I couldn't think of a more boring fruit than a pear. Sorry, but
a cantaloupe is very bland.
Honeydew,
but also, yeah, I would throw pears up there. Yeah. Jamaica.
What's that fuck? Jamaica. Yeah, I barely even know what that is.
It's like, I don't like it. If you live in an area where there's like Mexican fruit vendors and you get like a big thing of like watermelon and mango, they'll throw like Jamaica in there. I don't like it. Too crunchy, not enough flavor. Keep it out.
Not a fan of the crunchy fruit.
All the tahini in the world can't save that.
Last thing I want to talk about is the outro, which is a ridiculously over the top a cappella arrangement of Amazing Grace. It is hilarious how hard they go here.
I think it's a fine display of their vocal prowess. It does not fit anything on the album.
No.
It doesn't fit. It's purely tacked on.
It's one of my favorite things on the album, honestly. This one is also dedicated to Angela Tillman.
Yes.
And so it's genuinely funny to me because of how fucking, I mean, they give it every ounce of effort. It's so complicated. It's wild stuff. It's wild stuff. It doesn't feel like any of the other songs. It's Amazing Grace, obviously, but they do a lot of different stuff with it. They go in a lot of different directions. When they do covers, like big, complicated, complex a cappella covers of songs, it tends to be really interesting.
Yeah, it's usually good, but yeah, this has like no business because there's not enough soul music. It's all like modern club and pop stuff. So
Definitely. Yeah. But I still dig it as, for what it is. But Alex's best and personal favorite. I don't like this album. I don't hate it more or less than the one before it. I'm pretty, if I were to hate it more, it's just because if it's longer. If I were to like it more, it's because it has more diversity. It's pretty on par. I'm not into this style. I just don't get this, but you found something here, even though you don't like all the songs, but you still found something.
I would say it's a 50-50 affair, but the big songs did what they're supposed to do for this band, and they are catchy pop songs. They do have a place in growing up for me, and it's more than I could say for the other albums. When we get to one that I almost gave it up for, I'll talk about that album, but this is as good. It's literally as good as it gets. You're not going to get an album with as many catchy songs. So
I disagree, but now it's time to get into it. Ready for the next one?
I'm ready.
Hell yeah. This is 2001's Survivor. Yet another style change a little bit.
I forgot this was, for the Charlie's Angels movie.
I forgot that too.
But yeah, this is cool because it's different than a lot of other things they've. Also, the production, this sounds a little more like grounded.
It is very snappy. It's very close. It's not a very spacious mix.
I like the variety. Like we were doing the rapping thing, now we got these.
So, I mean, aside from this being one of the most pandery nonsense songs ever, I think it's actually pretty damn fun.
It's a fun song.
It's a fun song.
You don't put your hands up in you don't get much hotter than being one of the biggest groups in the world and having a big song on a big summer movie. That's this like something that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that in a long time. Also, best personal favorite.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this one, and I was hoping it wouldn't be this one because I mean, you say My Name is their biggest song. I would feel like Survivor is their biggest song because that's the one I heard. I was inundated with that song. Like, I mean, to a painful degree.
I think also maybe because like you're a little younger, so like maybe you missed the writing on the wall era. But no, Survivor is a huge song. Huge song.
A little bit later, so maybe it was just the waves. Maybe I caught that wave instead. But I don't even like the song Survivor that much. I've never liked it. I think it's annoyingly catchy, and I get it. So whatever, it's fine. So
that song is drunk on hi-hats. There's so many.
It is an era album, complete with they've had them on previous songs before, but the cheesy ass Baroque synths, boy howdy, are they on that song and on this album. They tend to do a lot of Baroque minor key stuff. That's like their fallback. If I went for like a melodic style, it kind of always falls back on Baroque minor key stuff, which is fine, but not when you've heard it fucking million times. But the reason I gave this best is I think this album shits the bed very, very hard in the second half. I mean, very hard.
Yes, I would agree with that.
But up top, it has the best pacing. And even if I don't love the song placement up top is very good. It feels, it has good movement. For example, Survivor following Independent Woman is a big, you want a giant, big follow up to something that kicks off with higher energy. Like Independent Woman has higher energy. Survivor comes in with big bombastic energy. And then after that, you get Bootylicious, which I was fully on board to be like, this song is shitty. This is a shitty song. But
it's not a shitty song.
It's not a shitty song. I don't enjoy it exactly. I don't really enjoy it, but it comes in with a completely different feel. It's not Baroque. It's not monarchy. It's not mean and edgy. It's more sassy and upbeat.
It's also like one of the few rock samples in their whole career. I always thought it was Eye of the Tiger for some reason, but it's...
What's the palm muted guitar? I could see where you thought that.
It's Stevie Nicks, Exit 17. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a palm muted guitar.
But yeah, I like when she aggressively says she's going to shake her jelly.
Well, why do it any other way? And then after that, which I was fully convinced that like, okay, you get 3 in a row. So far, an album has not had 3 in a row that worked for me. Nasty Girl comes on, and I am conflicted because I think it works. I think it's a fine song. It has a little bit of salsa sounding sections peppered in that one. But this is the one where they say we can do whatever we want, and they stole the vocal line from Tarzan Boy.
They did credit.
Did they credit? I checked and they didn't credit. I'm just an idiot. I just missed it.
Yes, they do credit Baltimore Bossy or whatever.
Oh, so yeah. Good. All right, I appreciate that. What they didn't credit was Salt and Pepper.
Oh no, you don't do that on Nasty Girl. Still
on Nasty Girl, there's no credit for that one. That one. So I'm less off put because they credited Tarzan Boy, but not quite satisfied because they did not credit Salt and Pepper, which is a little weird.
Yeah, that's so cool. Also, no one's ever said this, and no one ever will say this about this album, but tonally, I was a little confused how we go from Bootylicious to slut shaming a woman on Nasty Girl. Like, what?
They are trying to make hits. They don't care about their beliefs. This is pop music, dude. Man.
Or is it like, oh, I'm in like control of my booty, but she's just giving it up?
It's a little judgmental. How do you know? How do you know what her booty's up to? How do you know what the intent of her booty?
How do you know? How do you know she's not using those men?
And also, if you're going back to Independent Women, if she pays for her own groceries, then who gives a fuck what she does with her booty? Why don't you follow your own philosophy, ladies?
Also, if I could backtrack to the philosophy of Destiny's Children,
we're gonna call them that from now on.
Yeah, Bills. Some people think that's like a gold digger song, but if you actually listen to it, it's actually very reasonable. She's just like, this motherfucker borrowed my car. He didn't top off the tank. He's using my credit card. Like, I think that's totally reasonable.
That's a freeloader. You got yourself a freeloader right there.
You got yourself a freeloader. They're not even advocating to pay for their bills. They're just upset this motherfucker's not paying his own way.
Yeah,
sorry.
That was like more of the era of like, let's just be equal here. And here it's like, I don't need you. They went full sass here. Complete sass.
Yeah. Fancy sass.
So now that we're on to fancy, was it track 5? I was, again, the first 6 tracks, I'm like, no fucking way. I don't hate these songs. I'm not going to listen to them. I don't fucking like this music. But in terms of what I'm forced to fucking sit through because of goddamn Horacio, I'll take it. Fancy, a little bit more edgy, a little slower. It kept up the momentum. It's a smart pacing choice. I was surprised.
Those Casio keyboards lost me.
They sound like shit. There's a lot of things on here that sound like shit. Plenty. But if I'm looking for just bass lines, compositions, progressions, something that's not going to bore the fuck out of me, I'll take it. And the last thing to do that is Apple Pie a la mode, which is a little bit more on the hip hop side.
Fucking bizarre, actually.
Why? Why do you say bizarre?
Oh, just because I don't know if it's the same sample as Nas's New York State of Mind, but it's kind of dark and gritty, or that's what I associate with that. And this is like obviously not about apple pie, if you know what I'm saying. It's about fucking. So I kind of felt like, there's like this clashing of things going on there.
Probably, yeah. I could see what you're saying. Musically, the thing that did it for me, because I wasn't super swayed by it, but then the chorus changes the melodic feel in a way that I wasn't expecting. That alone, okay, you did something I actually wasn't expecting for once. Fuck yeah. All right. That song is okay by me.
Mike's here for the technical prowess of
something to keep me. Yeah. If it's just fuck music or if it's just pop music, and then we got to break it up with something I truly hate, which is Sexy Daddy. I truly hate Sexy Daddy.
First of all, it's called Sexy Daddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, talking about relics of the time. Can we please bring back squeaky bed samples to imply there's fucking on the song?
Why not? If it's tasteless then, it'll be tasteless now. Who cares?
It's so funny. It's so funny.
It's goofy. It's very goofy. I found it to just be one of the most annoying songs for me. It's got a lot of interesting layers. Well, it's got a lot of layers. It's got a lot of interesting vocal stuff here. But the rest of it's just so grating. I can't even fucking stomach it.
Part 2 for that beat,
dude.
That fire. Whoever made that beat.
Independent Women Part 2. If I had to pick a favorite Destiny's Child song, I'm going that one. Because it's fucking nuts. It's cartoon music. It's cartoon music.
That would work on like an MF Doom album. Which rules? This is nuts.
This is why it's better. It's better. Dude, Independent Women Part 2 comes on, and the intro alone is, for those who haven't heard, I'm just going to put on the intro real quick because it's a joke. It's basically a joke.
Yeah, if you heard this on like a Doom album, fine. He samples cartoons.
So that intro was like, okay, that's it.
You think it's just the intro, but they do work it into the beat.
They do work it into the beat. And I think it's fucking cool. I think it's quirky and dark. It's weirdly dark, considering how quirky and silly it is. But it has like that bounce to it, that nostalgia to it, where like that fast kick drum comes in.
You know where it's from? It's from Rocky and Bullwinkle.
I used to watch Rocky and Bullwinkle as a kid.
Yeah, that's
what did it. I was a big fan.
Yeah.
I used to rent the VHSs because it's literally from the fucking 50s and 60s. But if I had to name a favorite song, it would be that one. It's just so weird and silly and different. Not a single song in the discography sounds like it. So yeah, I'm going that one, 100%.
Whew, man. I'm for it for different artists, but I gotta say, not for DC.
Not for DC. There's another, unsurprisingly, another Latin sounding one with Perfect Man. Another one that's like, I'm fine with. I'm not going to go preaching the gospel of it or anything, but it kind of moves the album for me. It's fine. But after that, I'm talking a 7-song streak of dog shit. It's wild.
Yeah.
Holy crap, it's bad.
It's rough.
It starts with Happy Face, which, what do you think of those samples?
Dude, they're insane. Not as insane, but they're insane. I think that song could have worked if they leaned, pun intended, this went full house. And I mean, house music.
Okay. Because it is like a lot of cheesy video game keyboards and hand claps, really hokey main hook.
I think if they bought in like a house producer and like leaned in, I think that could have been something, but not here.
Not here. Even though I hate this stretch of songs, I will give it that there is even the songs I don't like, or some of the songs I don't like in here, they are still interesting and different. Or diverse. I'm not even going to say interesting. They're just different because my biggest problem with the last two albums is that they all fucking felt the same. Here, they're actually doing a bunch of different weird shit. So Dance With Me, which I don't like.
I don't think it's very danceable either. It has like this stop thing going on.
Yeah, it's not very dancey. It's upbeat for sure, and it has these minimal piano chords, and that's kind of like the main hook. But it's different enough. I don't think it's very good. I don't like it at all. I really don't like that main hook. But at least it's not like just another R&B song, or just run of the mills R&B.
I don't know if this is a hot take. They can't write. They don't have a good team for writing ballads. All their ballads usually suck.
Yeah, they not only do they suck. This is where it gets bad. This part of the album.
Yeah.
Because
and I brought it up because My Heart Still Bleeds. Yeah.
My Heart Still Beats is the first one, but we get 3 ballads in a row, dude. And
dude, I saw Emotion was created to the Gibbs of Bee Gees.
Yeah.
I was like, great. Still lift from the Bee Gees all day long. And I'm like, what did you do? What did you do to the Bee Gees?
They fumbled is what they did. Because first we got My Heart Still Beats, which is about as bombastic as it gets. But and there's some moments in there that kind of feel like musical theater, which I find to be a plus. Like, oh, that's different. But it's as a whole just so boring. And then a complete missed opportunity with Emotion. Just bland, just straight up fucking bland. And then we get Brown Eyes, which is the worst of the 3. I mean, fuck.
Yes, it's the worst song on the album. Maybe their worst song ever.
It's
really
up there. It's fucking up there. I'm not even gonna disagree. I would at least top 2 or 3 of their worst songs ever.
Like, it is full cheese.
Yep.
It's full cheese. Break out the charcuterie boards.
Fucking A, man. And after that, we get Dangerously in Love, which it's not a full ballad, but it's pretty close. And
also, what an interesting song for her for Beyonce to revisit in her solo career.
I thought hers was. Wait, did she really re-record that one?
No, she named one of her studio albums "Dangerously in Love."
Really? That is interesting. Because honestly, I think so. At this point of the album, by the way, this album is like what 75 minutes. The international version, the original version, the US version is 60 or 59 minutes. International is the one to find streaming. That one's like 75 minutes.
Yeah.
Insane. At this point, the album is too damn long. However, I think if they were to replace those 3 ballads and just leave Dangerously in Love, I think it wouldn't be that bad of a song.
Yeah, that's fair. I could see that.
It's a pretty exhausting chunk of record right here. And the same with fucking The Story of Beauty. That's just, I would call that a by the numbers Destiny's Child song. It's just another minor key Baroque one.
And then, again, has no business being on here, but vocally, the gospel melody.
Oh, medley? Yeah.
It kind of rules.
It kind of rules.
That's just where they show off.
Yep. And it's always impressive. It's another tribute to Dred Tillman. It's another tribute. I think it's a little long, but it really does. It is good it's really good for what it is.
Also not streaming for some reason. Got to go out of your way to listen to that one.
It is. It's on, for my iTunes, it actually it switched it up to Michelle Williams. So we didn't talk about the members yet.
Michelle Williams joined.
Michelle Williams joins now.
After, in the No or Say My Name video. Sorry.
Say My Name, yeah. So it's, for my Apple Music, because Apple is the worst, it removed it from Survivor and then added her solo album, which it's on.
Weird.
Yeah, it's weird, but it is good for what it is. The outro, first of all, if you're going to have an outro, it's got to be, if you're going to put outro in the title, it's got to be less than 1.5 minutes. This is fucking 4 minutes.
It's bonkers.
It is certainly bonkers.
There's like stabby synth strings. I don't know what's going on sonically there. It's just insane.
It is the most experimental thing I think they've ever done. It has these really, really complex percussion with pretty subtle spacey electronic sounds. I find it to be genuinely interesting and a pretty good closer. I was not expecting them to get a little weird at the end there.
It's so interesting how I'm usually, an advocate for weird stuff, but I'm just like, I know what they are, and I don't know. It's just don't do that. Unless you're gonna like.
Don't do that. That's the final quote from Alex. I know what you are. Don't do that.
I know what you are. We all came here for a very specific reason. Unless you're gonna commit to the bit and do a full album of weird, I don't want it.
That's just the difference with me because I don't like this music at all. I don't want to have anything to do with it. But if I'm forced to listen to it, I might as well pick the one that has the most things I'm not expecting, the most interesting stuff to me, the weirdest. So this was like a no-brainer. This was an absolute no-brainer. Yeah. Is it way too fucking long? Absolutely. Does it have a ton of shitty songs? Absolutely. But the pacing up top dwarfs every album for me. And that alone is like, all right, it's got good diversity. It's got good pacing for the first chunk. All right. This is my best personal favorite, but you ain't even coming close to the first Spice Girls album, dude.
No. I meant to say it earlier, but like, I wish he had suggested TLC. I think I would have had a better time with TLC.
I would be just as dreading of it. I would not be excited. Maybe I would come out a little happier because I didn't come out of this that happy. I came out of this fucking exhausted and relieved that I was done.
I will say all three members of TLC all kind of have their unique personalities and they're like equals.
Oh, well, it is a group. It's a group. Yeah.
It's a real group. And I think I would have liked it better. I can't say for sure, but now that we've done this, I'm sure someone will request it. I hope they have less albums. That's all I'm saying. I just hope they have less than 5 albums. Oh God, how many albums do they have? God damn it. 5. It's 5 still.
It's still 5. Well, fuck.
Still 5.
God damn it. Whatever. But yeah, my best and personal favorite. And now we briefly brushed over it. Now we got Michelle. I'm already forgetting her fucking name.
Williams.
Michelle Williams on there. Thank you. And this is kind of it was always the Beyonce show, but this is like, who even fucking cares? Why even put the other ones on the cover? Because it's so much Beyonce.
I like how also man, they've got some of the worst album covers ever.
They're not great.
How much money's being pumped into this thing? Can we not get these women cooler album covers?
Yeah, they're not. Yeah.
I like how she's very selective. I think this is the only one where she's in the center. I could be wrong.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, she's off to the side on the other ones. I'm
humble.
You told me who you were with the writings on the wall.
Oh, very clearly. Oh, that's wild. But we got a couple more. I can't believe we're fucking not done. We're an hour and a half into this fucking episode. But this is one that I wish we didn't have to cover, but we did, and we did. So this is a Christmas album, folks. This is fucking fun. You know how good Christmas albums are. I hope you're ready, Alex.
I've already listened to it, so yeah.
This is, oh my God, when did this come out? This is 2001, same year, 2001's 8 Days of Christmas. What in God's name is happening?
Been a long year, and
at least it's not a traditional Christmas song.
That is true. That's what I was not expecting something so not Christmassy.
It's okay. It's fine.
Very interesting production. I don't think it's good.
It is.
It's just odd. All right, let's not listen to too much of that.
Also, I feel like I'm cheating here, but worst, least favorite.
You're out of your mind. You're out of mind. Yes, is it a bad album? Absolutely. Is it a Christmas album, which would give it default worst? I get that. It's bad. I don't think it's the worst, though.
Man, I can't wait to talk about the next album.
Nor can I. Because this one... So first off, it blows.
It starts off a little rough, but to my surprise, the pacing's actually pretty good.
It has a 4-song stretch that's not bad.
Yes.
Which
yes.
I was not expecting that. So it opens up with that song, and I find it to be pretty forgettable. And then it goes in. This is the deluxe version, by the way, where it has extra tracks at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The original album, I believe, opened with the title track, but on this version, the version you'll find streaming, it opens with "Home for the Holidays" and then "Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer," which is exactly what you think it is.
I wrote the exact same thing.
Dude.
Yeah, it's a R&B version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and
It is if you can imagine it, you've heard it, and you probably don't like it. I don't know who that's for, honestly.
8 Days of Christmas, though, man, finally, I said all my life, which someone would do a Sassy Club version of this song, and now I have it.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't even remotely feel like a Christmas song.
Winter Paradise is okay, but once we get around to the DC Christmas melody, that's where stuff starts picking up.
Okay, so I feel exactly the same. Winter Paradise, fine. It's a good picture track. It's not amazing, but it's fine. A DC Christmas medley. So the lyrics are just the usual Christmas carols. All of them like a medley of all the Christmas carols. It's annoying and it's kind of like cheesy and whatever. The bass line kind of rules.
It does.
I was really caught off guard by that bass line.
I was caught off guard by just doing standards that I was like, this is okay.
Yeah.
Also, the album does this weird thing where, like, on Silent Night, it's like featuring Beyonce, and then on other songs, it's like featuring Kelly, and then featuring like, are you just doing that to let me know who the main person is?
Yeah, I think so. That's an odd choice. I didn't like that either.
So that's not anything to do with the music, just weird.
Yeah. But speaking of Silent Night, I know you like that one.
It's weird. I'm not a religious person, but something, I don't know. I like the melodies in Silent Night. I always have. So this is a good version. I get it. You guys like Jesus. Shut the fuck up. They sing about him a lot on this album.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. There's something really like haunting about it that I like. I
actually I'm not a religious person either, but I'm more like fine. I'm more like fine with like religious or like godly stuff. If you want to, I mean, too much of anything is annoying, but whatever. I'm not super bothered by it. But I never liked Silent Night. I've always hated the song.
I think we talked about this on our Christmas episode. Yeah,
from 2019, our Christmas 2019 episode, right in the very beginning. Yeah. I don't like Silent Night, but this one, it's first of all, it's a solo acoustic guitar and vocal. And it detours from the original a good number of times, like a good amount.
Yeah.
It's pretty distinguishable. And there's this dark, almost psychedelic section at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't see that coming. Fuck it. I'm on board. I'm completely on board. I'm on board enough. I'm not completely on board. I hate this album, but I'm on board enough.
Little drummer boy, not enough drums. Lots of scatting though.
Dude, that one is R&B the fuck out.
Hell yeah.
So dorky. Those vocals, oh man.
The little baby Solange on there. I don't know about what part, but she's on there.
Wow. Yeah, not a fan. And then Do You Hear What I Hear has like the cheesiest acoustic guitars over a fucking drum machine. Blows.
There are whimsical elements of the song I like, but they're too far in between.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. And then we get, this is an odd little stretch here. We get two carols back to back that are both less than 2 minutes. White Christmas and Platinum Bells, which is just Silver Bells. And they're both
Platinum Bells is fun.
You like it?
I do.
Oh man, I hate them both.
Yeah.
But again, I also hate the originals. I don't like Christmas carols. Okay. What do you think of A Holy Night?
It's for me, the streak is continuing. At this point, I'm like, this is a perfectly fine Christmas album.
Really? I get it. I'm just surprised at how on board you are with this when you gave it worse.
It's just, so I guess I didn't really explain myself. I almost gave it to the first album.
Oh.
But also I was like, those aren't the most memorable songs, but they're still original songs. They're trying something. I don't know what the fuck they're trying here other than just doing a Christmas album, but I think if you like this style of R&B, if you like Destiny's Child, I think this is a fine Christmas album. I don't fucking care for it. I think it, like, the pacing at a certain point is great. I think the album ironically flows better than their original albums. It's just, it didn't feel right trashing an original piece of work, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you're already like not super hating on it in general, then I can see that.
Yeah, like, also, like, the first album is not, it's not great, but I don't know. It felt wrong. It felt wrong to call it worse. So that's where my logic was at.
I get what you're saying, and if it came down to it, this was, if it had to be between two, this is the other one I would give worse. And it's not so much because of like, it's an album of Christmas carols and covers. It's more of, I actually don't like how this feels, and I don't like listening to it. I'm okay with Oh Holy Night because it starts out with like, full on adult contemporary territory, really boring. But as it goes on, it kind of transforms. It gets darker and more dramatic, more complex. And I think it deserves credit for kind of actually for expanding like that. But
yeah,
Read a Little Love on Christmas Day. It's weird different for a Christmas song, I guess, but
because it sounds like they're like sassy revenge songs, but the lyrics are wholesome, and you get the return of the fast hi-hats, so it's a very confusing.
It's 100% a return of the sassy revenge song, but with Christmas lyrics. And then this Christmas sounds like a different band. It's almost like it's like indie pop at first.
It is also funny because she sing "Shake a Hand, Oh," but this sounds like "Shake a Hand Job."
Shake a hand job. So, that's how you do it, though.
I was like, they're not saying that. There's no way. Oh, though? How do you... I don't know. My ears are fucked up. Don't mind me.
Ours are fucked up. The closer is Opera of the Bells or Carol of the Bells. That I would probably say is my favorite Christmas carol because it's the only one that's dark in like a classical piece, and it's not exactly cheery. It's
dark, and they say the word ding dong and ding 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 a lot, so it's also funny as well as being dark.
This is so it's already one of the darkest Christmas carol there is, and their version of it, in addition to being a cappella, which means it's fucking batshit, it leans into the dark. I think it's actually surprisingly very good.
It is, yeah. That's their show off their vocal prowess song. They got one every album.
And in addition to it being dark and complicated and complex and show-offy, it doesn't just follow the original. It goes into a bunch of different places. It really expands on it. It transforms it. I was like, all right, this is not nearly as horrific as I was expecting. A few songs definitely are what I was expecting, but stuff like that and a DC Christmas medley and Oh Holy Night, it's like, all right, well, you did something there. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, perfectly suitable R&B Christmas album. I don't know. I can't advocate for it, and I felt weird trashing like original material.
Well, I don't, and let's get ready to do it some more with this next album, folks.
Oh man.
Well, yeah, this is Alex's worst and least favorite. Obviously, it is there's not many occasions to listen to this except for the one time a year. Unless you're one of those people that listen to it year round like Mick Foley, but I digress. Now, time for the last album. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh yeah, this is 2004's Destiny Fulfilled.
Hit me!
It's like, are those real drums? Is this album gonna...
line. And this is gonna be... they sample it after that.
Yeah, I forgot. I don't know how I forgot about this song, but
same. It's barely coming back to me as a song that I remember, but I will tell you that I absolutely fucking loathe this song.
I never really thought about my feelings about this song until now. I don't know. I think they got me with the drums.
Really?
I think it's good. It's a good Destiny's Child song.
Okay.
That I'm way too much for you.
Those
like the
fucking
strings.
orchestral hits, dude.
Yeah,
That's bad.
we're gonna get trademarked copyright on YouTube so hard for this song.
We're probably gonna have to. I want to go ahead and say just
We're here with no music. We'll probably. I can't say for sure. You'll know if you're watching the video. There's a good chance I'll have to cut out all the music from this episode because with bigger fucking bands, the really money grubbing record labels and YouTube, while they're real not good about this stuff, they don't just demonetize the video, they ban it and they block it.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous because we're talking over it, we're commenting on it, we're exercising fair use.
Fair use, yeah.
Doesn't fucking matter. They will block the video. And I don't care about monetization. I just care about it being visible. So whatever. Anyway, Worsley's favorite by fucking miles.
I almost gave this best personal.
You're out of your goddamn tree, dude. How in the hell?
I think I just appreciate that out of the kindness of her heart, Queen Bee decided to give Kelly and Michelle her table scraps on this album. So it's the only album, I mean, they do it on the Christmas album, but it's the only album of original material where you're like, that's Kelly singing, that's Michelle singing. And I don't think it's awful. I think they only got like 2 hits out of this, but it's, yeah, I don't know. I think this because it was so, like, I wish they did it earlier. I wish like Kelly and Michelle got featured more often.
So featured or not, I think these songs are irredeemably bad in most ways. So Lose My Breath, the opener, the drumline stuff won you over. I couldn't get over the fucking, oh my God. To me, it's nightclub horse shit. I was speechless. With those orchestral or those MIDI strings and MIDI orchestral synths or whatever. Fuck, man. They are extremely dated. I mean, that is 2004 in a goddamn nutshell.
Love it.
And then we got T.I. and Lil Wayne on Soldier. We got them both.
Dude, I don't like either of those guys. I never have. So yeah, that one's a little rough for me. And the production is rougher.
It's by that song already. And I will say this album for me is contender for worst of the worst. It is not the worst of the worst. It's not as bad as Spice Girls' last album to me, but it's close.
Oh, that's all. Yeah.
It's pretty fucking close to me. So Soldier, it harnesses everything I hate about early 2000s hip hop and everything I hate about R&B. And they do it for 5.5 fucking minutes.
It's long. It is long. Then yeah, Cater to You is really jarring while listening to these albums in quick succession. Like, what happened to all my strong independent women? Now we're just catering to people nonchalantly. We're just catering to people.
Just
like,
catering.
It doesn't even sound like catering. It really sounds like some form of entrapment.
I bet it is. It's a little bit more emotional and soulful. It's got some fast vocal stuff. It's not a terrible bass line
over slow beats.
Yeah. It doesn't have a terrible bass line, but I find it to be pretty by the numbers pop everywhere else. And by the end of it, I couldn't get more bored. And the worst part for me is that T-shirt follows it because it feels like practically the same type of song.
I think it was different. I'm surprised a song called T-shirt is their horniest song ever recorded. I feel like there should have been hornier songs with sexier song type. Oh, I mean, like, they're describing sex in that song, like straight up, no innuendo, no apple pie here. This is like,
all right,
this is like fucking music, and it's oddly titled T-shirt. I get why it's titled T-shirt, but
I hate it. I think it's horrible. I think it's fucking just. And then, is she the reason? we're back to some more dramatic minor key stuff. I'm okay with the sample choices. I was still bored by it, but I find it to be a little better than the ones before it.
I think the production and the beat making on Is She the Reason and Girl, that's some of the best in the discography. I think those two songs.
Really.
And those are like two songs that aren't hits that were like highlights for me, because I was trying to find stuff to grab onto that wasn't hits, but it's dire. And those two songs, I'm like, all right, I'll take it.
So Girl, I think, is actually not bad. There's only two songs in the album that I'm okay with. Girl is one of them. It brings back the acoustic guitars, but that one does. I get what you're saying about the production for that one, because it definitely has a more classic, almost Barry White feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives a little bit of fresh air. Following 5 songs that I'm like not cool with, and then that one, it feels extra good.
Yeah. I don't know if I should have seen who produced these. Oh shit, they did. I clicked on the wrong thing. So their tour, happy accident here. Their tour for this was called Destiny Fulfilled and Loving It. Bought to you by
Destiny Fulfilled and
McDonald's.
Loving It.
Bought to you by McDonald's. Amazing tagline.
Dude, it's
so lazy, name. But that's why I fucking like these songs. That all makes sense.
What?
Fucking Ninth Wonder did the beats on
Ninth Wonder.
Those. He's like a hip hop producer, like or I guess he's not an underground hip hop producer. But he works with like a lot of like smaller rap groups. Okay, that's why I like those songs.
Really? Okay.
Well, I was not expecting that. He's like one of his, like, he works with like a local rapper in LA called Murs for people who know. Yeah. He works with Murs a lot.
Oh, interesting. I will give, because Girl is a good song. And then even though I'm not big on Is She the Reason, the sampling and the production, I get it. Moving on.
I felt it in my soul. Sorry.
All right. That works. Moving on to Bad Habit, we got some cello stuff on there, like synth cellos. It might be real cellos. I can't tell exactly. It sounds fairly good. It's like shitty prom music. It's inspirational and fucking lame. I hate it.
It's not for me, but I think it fares better than their other traditional R&B songs.
Do you think? Interesting.
If is the worst song on the album, though. It's fucking exhausting. It's
is really bad.
I think even if it kills the whole vibe.
I wasn't big on the vibe to begin with. So far, I've only liked one song on the entire album. But if 100% is, oh Jesus Christ, it's like a sea of over the top vocals that just don't stop, and the progressions get extremely cheesy and emotional. It's nauseating. I mean, at first I didn't think it was going to be so bad, but boy, it gets there.
I think another reason I liked this album and why I almost gave it like some good accolades is like when I hear songs like Free and Love, it's kind of crazy to hear them try these more like grounded R&B songs where perhaps maybe like a band's working. I don't know if it is or isn't, but it sounds like, oh, maybe they bought a band in to do these two songs.
I see what you're saying. It is more upbeat. It's a bit happier. And it's another one that has like a kind of a slight classic feel, and it's more percussive. It does sound more like a band. I still think the song is bad. I still don't like it. I find it to be painfully forgettable. And then because we're still not done, we got to bring back some more emotional edginess with Through With Love. So dramatic.
I felt like if they took the serious piano out, the main course kind of sounds fun. Like if you just took the acapellas, you could like remix this into a club song.
I don't disagree. I don't like the song at all, but it is not. It's not as bad as some of the other ones. There was moments that, yeah, probably could have been worked somehow to my liking, I guess. But the closer, Love, is the only other song that I'm okay with. And yeah, it's another edgy one, but it's in a less tired way, a little bit less predictable. It's more dark than emotional, which surprisingly, thinking about it, we don't really actually get anything dark very much.
No, this is not,
Yeah, I can see why it's not the place for that, but still, it's nice. Yeah, it finds me a lot more engaging.
There's no fucking tribute to Tillman, and I'm all mixed up.
There's no tribute to Tillman. And I mean, that's the least of this album's problems for me. I like Love. I still think it drags on a full minute too long, but it's fine. Girl is fine. But every other song, this makes me sick. I hate this in such a profound way. I was in, oh man, that relief when you've finished a big discography, like what we do here. Like sometimes we'll have like a fucking 12 album discography and we're listening to it for like 2 weeks and we get to that last album and we finish that last album. Like fucking thank God we did the hard work. That's how I felt after listening to this one time. Like I'm done. Fucking all right. Thank God. I get the fuck out of here. This one took it out of me. This album, like the rest of the albums were exhausting and long. This is the one that fucked me up.
There are a lot of things that are not for you. The time period, the genre of music. It is, yeah. There's a lot going against them.
There's a lot. Yeah, this episode was requested to torture us and most likely torture me. So congratulations, mission accomplished. But I still gave it a fair shot. I mean, I gave it way more of a fair shot than I honestly thought I was going to give it. I thought I was going to be in here like fucking shit. But some of the stuff, it's like, I don't like it, but I get it. But the stuff that's bad is just so fucking bad, man.
I mean, if you're listening to a full discography, you don't never want it to be bad. Even if you know it's bad, you don't want it to. You never want it to be bad.
Praying for it to be good, so you can, man. Oh God damn!
It's about like 10 hours of our life spent on Destiny's Child.
Basically, it's tough. It's tough, but we did it, and this is my worst and least favorite. I don't like this.
And then they broke up, and Beyonce has more money than all of us.
She has more money than God. It's really insane. She has become scary level of powerful and famous. Her and Jay-Z and anybody else you can think of that sells out arenas. Like, I don't know. Really, no one. I mean, it's just insane. Like, it's scary. It's scary. If they wanted to just like, you know what? It's our government now. They could. I bet they could.
I bet they could. I bet Taylor Swift could cause an insurrection if she really wanted to.
Certainly could. Yeah. It would be. It wouldn't be like the most threatening group of people, I don't think, but kind of like chubby girls.
They got numbers.
They do got numbers.
Speaking of chubby girls, your outfits at the Beyonce concert I went to, chef's kiss.
Good. What does that mean?
Beautiful, skin tight, amazing.
Fucking
you go, girls.
God damn. But yeah, Beyonce went to go on to rule the world. But we have a couple quotes here from Wyclef, Matthew, and Latavia. Wyclef says, "When you look today, nobody has filled the Destiny's Child shoes yet. It's like a void. They had consistency, hard work.
Motherfucker, her and Jay-Z are not going to call you. Let it go."
Let it go. Matthew says, "The group were and are still incredible women who are very passionate about what they do. When you're passionate, you get to live your dream every day. Sometimes this comes with some mistakes, but you have to look at those as opportunities to grow, and they did. We all did. Overall, Destiny's Child had some great years, and I would love to see the ladies reunite one day."
Motherfucker, he probably said, "I can't believe you interrupted me doing my Scrooge McDuck dive into a pile of money."
His pile of gold coins. Oh, geez. And Latavia, being quite humble. She says, even being dismissed from the group, I love that I got to do it with my sisters, my friends. I have other ventures that I'm doing that have nothing to do with music, and I love where I am. Right now, I'm actually executive producing my own docuseries. I'm starting a modeling agency as well, of course, focusing on my daughter. I'm also working on being one of the first African-American female boxing managers, ha 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 ha, and I'm definitely not the bitter one. Good for her.
Well, I didn't bring it up, but throughout these lawsuits, and it's messy, they're not allowed to talk shit about each other in public.
Oh, so she's fucking lying and she hates her. Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. That was part of the original settlement, and I should have brought it up on Survivor. Because they say something like, oh, you said I couldn't sell out without you, 80 million or something. And they're like, you're talking shit. Like, that was part of... Yeah, it was messy. It was really fucking messy.
I think they took some lyrics, right? That Latoya and Latavia wrote or something like that.
I don't know about those two. I just read the Destiny's Child, like the selling out lyric part.
Okay.
But yeah.
Maybe it was
part
that.
of the agreement, because there was so much shit talking. Part of the agreement was that everyone had to stop talking shit.
Everyone had to play nice. Well, whatever then. Fuck it. Whatever. Yeah. Jesus Christ. I'm fucking tired. I don't know about you.
I think I'm just mostly warm. I just feel warm. It's heating up. It's heating up.
It is heating up. It is, what was it today? I think like 101 today over here where I'm at.
Oh, fuck. I'm out here like an 80-degree complaining about it.
It gets, I think in a couple days or maybe tomorrow, it's going to be like 108. It's really bad. It's like really bad. And you have to just, it's like getting whacked in the face as soon as I open my door.
I bet.
So I am blasting this fucking AC. My bill is probably going to be bad, but gotta survive, baby. I'm a survivor.
Yeah. I'm a survivor.
Let's do a little recap.
Best personal favorite, writings on the wall, all the hits, all the memories, all the TRL stuff. Worst least favorite, 8 Days of Christmas. Actually a serviceable R&B Christmas album, but I didn't feel right dragging original music through the mud on this episode. So
for me, Survivor, best personal favorite. It's got the most diversity. It's got the best pacing in the front half before it takes a shit on itself in the second. It's way too long. It's the longest album, and it's not that great overall. But for me, if a guy who hates this music, that's the one. Destiny Fulfilled, worst least favorite, and it's not even close. I truly fucking it is from when I think of faceless pop, that is what I hear. Like I put on this album, faceless, every song, faceless pop. I just can't. I can't stomach it. It's boy. But we made it through another episode. We thank you to Horacio, and also fuck you to Horacio for making us do this. If you want to support us and help us, hang out, talk some shit in the comments. Tell us why we're stupid and why Destiny's Child is actually good or whatever. You can subscribe and do all that stuff. You can follow me on all social media at PanderMonkey and Alex on Instagram at
Every Album Alex.
And please don't forget to follow our history guy, Tom Osman, at Tom Osman Sounds on all social media, as well as TomOsmanSounds.com, where he has a bunch of music, and his podcast, Whatever Comes Next, where he interviews a bunch of awesome indie musicians. He gets interviews for us. He gets albums for us. He does research for us. He does a lot of work, and he can also run infinitely, apparently. So go there, go to his Substack, TomOsman.substack.com. A lot of cool stuff there. Very interesting interviews coming out. It might be out by the time this episode drops, but I don't want to say for sure, but really fucking cool interviews. If you're in our world of music. And of course, cannot forget our Patreon, baby, patreon.com/everyalbumever. Please go there. You get two bonus episodes a month. You get to see our schedule in advance. You get to vote on polls to decide who we cover next. You get to join our Discord, be a part of our cool, fun, active community. It's also where we pick out suggestions for our EAE singles episodes. So if a new album came out this year, and you want to see us do an episode on it, we pick them out from there. And if you're tier two, then you can suggest a full discography, just like Horacio did on this one. In addition to suggesting a full discography, you can also suggest any album from any discography, and we'll do a bonus episode on it. So there's really no limits to that one. There's no rules for that one. Really, any fucking album you want. And it's cool.
By no limits, he means Master P.
I do mean Master P. Jesus Christ. Yeah, go there and do that. Okay, closing song. This is all you, baby. What you got?
Sometimes I like to highlight smaller songs, but that's just not what the group's for. I just want to hear jumping.
Jumping. All right. I hate it, but fuck it. This is what we're doing. So thank you so much for listening and watching.
It's jumping.
Thanks so much for listening and watching. See ya.
Ladies, leave your man at home. The club is full of ballers and their pockets full grown. And all you fellas, leave your girl with her friends. 'Cause it's 11:30 and